Good morning. I don't know if any of you caught that, but it's rather ironic. I literally just started a video wherein I was bragging on how good our cellular data was behaving today when pulled into McDonald's and it stalled out on me. Not for just the usual 1 or 2 seconds, no, a good 2 minutes. So we started over. So it is a beautiful Friday. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Blue skies, sunshine. I love Fredericksburg, Texas. What a beautiful place to live. And today we're going to be doing some serious real estate. We've got some folks in looking at buying properties, and hopefully by the end of today, we are going to have a very important property under contract that is going to make everyone very, very happy. So fingers crossed for that, and more news later on it. And these fine folks are also interested in some other properties. So I'm going to be running by and visiting with a friend, a gentleman who is considering listing his B&B for sale. That is definitely something we specialize in. You guys probably already know that because we own Absolute Charm B&B reservation service as well as the real estate company, which makes it such a natural tie-in because we actually know what we're talking about. And there are a lot of fine realtors in town here who know a good bit about B&Bs because they've sold them over the years, and so it's nothing against them. There's just no way, like, I don't know everything there is to know about land, running cattle on land. There's different things that I can't specialize in, but I do know my B&Bs, let me tell you. I know about those because we've been doing that since 2001 is when I opened my first cottage. Wow, that sounds like a long time ago. You know, looking back, I remember it being built, fixed up. Actually, it was an old garage and we turned it in. We did a major rehab, like as in lifted up off the ground and re-pour. There was no slab under it, but by doing that we could call it that we were renovating under the city's guidelines at that time. And the reason we needed to renovate, not just tear it down and rebuild, is because it's built too close to the street, being that it was an old carriage house that at that time there just weren't any regulations. And so now they said, if you tear it down, you can't build it back because it's too close to the street. Well, obviously, it's helpful for us to keep it where it was. We don't want to move it into the middle of our yard. So by renovating it, we were allowed to keep it there. I've heard, I've never really looked it up, that the city changed the rules, I believe, after that, perhaps because of us, and made it where at least 80% of the building has to remain original. And there was really nothing almost left of this building when we were done. Not by design. We love old buildings, but you know how it is with old buildings. You start digging in and you find one rotten board, which leads to another rotten board, which leads to things that just aren't salvageable. So that was kind of the story there. Anyway, and I remember that we were building it in 2001 because I remember the dreadful day the Twin Towers were attacked, and I remember that I could hear the guys working outside and hear it on their radio that they were listening to the horrible events unfold that day as well. So that's when we built that. Didn't mean to take such a dark turn, but that's how long we've been in the B&B business. So going to be visiting with a gentleman that has a little more complicated property because his zoning is a little more in the gray issue, the gray zone about how to rent his property. It's definitely rentable, but it's like the details of it are complicated. So selling it is not as straightforward, and it's going to need to be represented very clearly so that buyers and sellers know what they're getting into. So, in addition to doing some exciting real estate today, we also have another announcement. How can this be? How can you have another phone? You have a phone right there. Well, my friend Tammy gave me her husband's old phone that doesn't have great battery life. Well, it's still charged. It's holding up okay. Dirt talking this poor phone. So she gave me this, so we went to the AT&T store. Why do I need a second phone? Goodness knows, phones take over our world anyway, right? Because I know you're going to be so happy to get to have even more of me. I want to start doing Instagram live sessions as well. And like most people, as we've discussed a few days ago, nobody has time to do everything over and over. I can't record this for Facebook Live, again an Instagram Live, so I got to be able to multitask. So by having 2 phones, we can be streaming to Instagram for my friends who prefer the Insta, as well as hanging out here on Facebook with my Facebook homies as well. So hopefully I'll get a little thing hooked up, and no later than Monday, we will be going live on both. So very exciting. But the funny thing is, has anyone ever had this experience? Who's ever been to the AT&T store? Or the Verizon store? You fill in the blanks. It doesn't really matter. They're all the same. We were there. Okay, here's the things we were doing. I was just activating that phone. I've already got an account. I wanted to add a line for that phone. Savannah has been, my daughter has been on T-Mobile, which is a great company in a lot of areas and has horrible service in Fredericksburg, Texas. So she finally said, I can't, we've got to fix it. So we were getting her a new iPhone and on our plan so that it could be on AT&T, because literally clients can't hear her, it's dropping calls terribly, so that's what we did for her. So really 2 things. We showed up for 2 things, guys. So we get there and they go, well, while we're at it, we're having a special. iPads are $100 if you're getting a new line. I was like, I'll do that deal all day long. I need another iPad actually for our listing presentations, which we do electronically. So we added that. So that's the things we were doing, right? Activating that, activating my line, and getting her a phone. Just under 3 hours. Just under 3 hours. You know, 3 hours is a football game. Put that in perspective. Let that sink in a minute. It was horrible. We're sitting on these uncomfortable chairs. And the fellow was trying his best. I mean, he was very nice, very apologetic, but nonetheless, it was almost 3 hours. So by the end, I was like, I got to go to the bathroom. I did not plan to be here 3 hours. So Savannah's like, well, go next door to Hibbett's. So I go in Hibbett's. They're very nice, but that's a no-go. They don't have the bathroom. I get it. But they said, but you can go next door to Dollar Tree. They will let you go to the bathroom. So long story short, I was able to survive, barely, by doing that. Who's parked over there again? I've got to go check this out. So in any event, all is well. I have the phones 3 hours in, and that is how much I love talking to my friends here. I sat through 3 hours to get that phone activated so we can be live in more than one venue. And y'all saw earlier in the week I had that cool stick that's going to hold both as well. Now, if I can just find that, we're going to be live in multiple ways. So I will check back with you guys later. Love ya.